This is just the beginning of 22. Our product range for this upcoming year is going to continue to reveal itself. In all of our segments, performance has become very relevant. Certainly, Sportster S and Pan America totally embody that with the Rev Max architecture. In the cruiser segment, it's the Lowrider S, Lowrider ST. In touring, it's the Street Glide and Road Glide STs. And then we've got some other things up our sleeve and future product we're really excited about that's going to take this idea even further. We're at the tip of the iceberg of what we can do in terms of performance and the products.
The launch of the Street Glide and Road Glide ST models is that first step for us into that performance-leading Grand American Touring product line. Designed for weight, designed for power, designed for performance. Let's get rid of the two-up seat. Let's make it fast and more nimble, have better lean angle.
There's a big appetite for people who just want to take their bike, make it cool, make it different, and then just go rip on it. They're not just riding out on the street with their baggers. They're making them a performance machine. They're raising them up. They're giving them more power.
It's this cool new sort of, evolution that creates a new form factor for the bagger, which is really exciting.
We're bringing the 117 powertrain with a heavy breather, and how it's tuned with the exhaust makes it just an exceptional performance bagger.
For the first time, you have that CVO level powertrain available in a non-CVO product. It's Milwaukee 8 117, so it's everything that the Milwaukee 8 is known and loved for, plus you get the biggest version of it from the factory.
If you take a look at the font that's used with the drop H on the tank on our ST models, that is a direct lineage back to our race bikes of the late 19 teens and 20s. That logo also you might recognize from our 77 Lowrider. It's another one of those cases where you have something that's new and fresh, but yet familiar and almost subliminal.
Attitude is an important part of the ST models as well, and that's why you see the more subdued colorways. Lowrider S was a key piece of that DNA, and that's why you see bronze wheels and bronze accents on the powertrain.
Performance baggers really need to be able to do it all, from the racetrack to the sweeping canyons and everywhere in between. The ST models are truly a blank canvas for performance parts and amplifying the ride. What we're offering is a performance bagger trim kit. I also think of it kind of as an a la carte listing of products that really take a performance bagger to the next level. So you think, all right, it comes with a 117 from the factory. I want more, add a 131 stage 4 kit. Then tagging on a high flow exhaust system that were designed in parallel with one another, and then saying, all right, that's a ton of power to the ground, right? How do you harness it? That's where the Olin suspension comes in.
The Olin shocks that we run, that is the product that we took basically directly out of the catalog, essentially, before it was released, and put it on a race bike. So a big upgrade for the performance of the bike, and also they just look cool.
Prior to this, if you wanted to make a performance touring motorcycle, you had to buy one of our standard bikes and do quite a bit of change to get it to sort of be a good baseline to start making a performance bagger out of. With the Road Glide ST and Street Glide ST, we now provide something right out of the box that just gives you a shortcut to your performance bagger dreams.
You can make anything look good on paper, and you can pretty much sketch anything you want. But can you produce it in 3D? That's a different story.
Color, graphics, finishes. There's things that we're doing on these bikes that we haven't done on previous model years.
The motorcycle continues to have this really cool relationship with the rider because it's continuing to evolve and reveal itself and really speak to that premium nature of CVO. Custom Vehicle Operations is what CVO stands for. Started in '99. The idea was to provide the highest level of factory customization to our customers that could possibly be achieved. That's been sort of the mantra of CVO all of these years, and it continues to be.
Paint and graphics and the tech and the audio and the features. CVO accentuates all of those things. The magic there is putting all of that together in one big package.
For CVO, we always try to up the game a little bit to give that customer something special.
Really wide variety of paint and graphics options for CVO for 22. I think everybody can find something that's going to speak to them. They're all very unique and different from one another.
Our first kind of primary goal with model year 22 CVO was to interject some more color, as well as custom paint techniques that our customers come to love.
We really tried to make an impact with some bright, bold colors and contrast. So those schemes are two-tone and they reflect some of those really bold, saturated colors with pearl effects.
CVO is where we get the greatest opportunity to play and experiment. So we often work closely with Gunslinger.
Gunslinger is a company that's been in our CVO arsenal and family for a long time now, and they're inspiring us to push the limits. We try to do the same thing with them.
Gunslinger can go in there with a person with a brush by hand and really pinstripe in some sharp curves.
That hand-applied technique allows for very intricate 2 tones, 3 tones, airbrush drop shadows, and really translates into a truly custom look.
We took the time to consider every part down to the little tiny details and really make something that has a custom feel for the rider.
These powertrains and accent colors actually match the paint job more than we've ever done before.
Scorched chrome in particular is such a great looking finish with that deep black, shiny look that just really works well with the blue steel paint.
Flames have been kind of coming back. We haven't done them in a while.
We wanted to do a ghost flame with our Fade technology, which is exclusive to Harley-Davidson. And we do it in-house. It's a testament to the skills of our manufacturing facilities.
It's a paint mask technique that allows the fade to go through the flame, remove the mask, and achieve the look.
From some angles, you won't even notice the flames, but other angles, they're loud and proud right in your face, which is really cool.
The CVO lineup this year features the Road Glide Limited. We brought it back for those customers that love that fixed fairing and a comfortable ride, and we just add to it. With cosmetics down to the Alcantara that we put into the seat, it just stands apart.
We always try to have the ultimate suite of technology on the motorcycles as well, whether it's heated seat, heated grips, audio, huge piece of it.
We've added on the Rockford Stage 1 audio system onto the Limited and the Tri-Glide this year.
The Harley-Davidson audio kind of ecosystem now, it steps light years above kind of where we were in the past. The partnership with Rockford Fosgate has truly allowed us to amplify it up 8 notches.
Every part of the motorcycle is thought about, and we try to have a little surprise or a little bit of detail that speaks to the rider and speaks to where the CVO is positioned in our portfolio, which is at the top. It has to be the best of everything. We're just super excited about these two models, Lowrider S and now our new Lowrider family member, the Lowrider ST. We saw the reasons why Lowrider S was so popular. It gave you all of the great character and experience and emotional connection to our big twin powertrain, but in a package that was a little bit lighter, a little bit more nimble.
We had a couple years of production under our belt, so it was easy to see the tweaks that could be made to make that bike, which is already an incredible machine, and just take it to the next level.
First look from far away, you know it's a Lowrider S. Just the stance, just the presence of it. We retain the black and bronze. That's sort of like a trademark. And that gray is really hot in like a custom cars, hot rod scene right now. It's just the perfect secondary color.
The bike performs exactly how it looks, that raw, unbridled feel to it. We bumped the 114 up to a 117. It's really big news for Lowrider S fans. The powertrain is putting out 125 foot-pounds of torque, so it's a noticeable kick in the pants. We've got the heavy breather intake, along with a new exhaust system.
Lowrider S gets the 117, which is really cool, and that's the biggest motor that we have out of the box. We've also played with the location of the instrumentation and the suspension. We brought the bike up off the ground a little bit more to give it a little more lean angle. We've also taken the instrumentation and moved it from the console and the fuel tank and put it up into the rider's eyesight. And that's something that we heard directly from riders, that they wish they could had a little less movement in the neck and eyes to actually read the gauges of the motorcycle. If you think about the quintessential piece of DNA for modern Harley-Davidson, it's Lowrider S. So what's going to be the natural progression?
The Lowrider ST, we are super excited about what this is going to bring. This gets to that customer that may not need the full Grand American Touring, but is really looking for that performance package and some of the protection that the fairing brings.
There was a fundamental shift that we saw happening a few years back. What folks were doing is they were leaning into performance, and really was taking root in Southern California.
We were seeing a lot of customers modify their bikes by increasing the displacement, tweaking the suspension, going through the expense of putting saddlebags on the bikes, adding aftermarket fixed fairings. They were either restoring FXRTs or FXRs and putting that fairing on there, or they were taking the fairing at a swap meet and trying to, figure out how to get it on their Dyna. A lot of the shows that we pay attention to around the world, we started to see just a couple bikes that were like this. It'd be in a sea of 100 bikes that were kind of executed in the old manner. You would see 2 or 3 bikes that were done in this new way. And that's how we spot a trend. And that's where you have to go in and say, is there something here? Is this an anomaly, or is this something that's going to catch on?
We headed into the project with the pure emotion of what we wanted to look like. Just like any other Harley, there's always respect to the history, being able to trace back the family tree. We have so much respect to FXR and FXRT. Willie G and design team came up with that iconic look. When I sketched this bike, this fairing in particular, I believe the bike deserves its own new identity, something more modern.
This is a purpose-built fairing. The styling team really took their time to massage it to get it to the spot where you see it today. You've got the side ducts straddling the headlight, which is a direct throwback to the 80s FXRT. And through CFD simulation, the aerodynamic package that you've got on this vehicle is really dynamite.
Lowrider S is a little more relaxed cruiser. This one, I wanted riders to be in charge of the bike, sitting on top of the bike rather than sitting in the bike.
This is a true lightweight bagger. It's got the performance punch, that 125 foot-pounds of torque, and also comfortable on the long haul. The bike comes standard with cruise control. We wanted the tall suspension in the rear, and that was a 56mm shock. We did shift the saddlebags vertically 2 inches on a motorcycle compared to the Sport Glide, and you can remove the saddlebag in seconds.
For Lowrider ST, we have a suite of parts and accessories products. And this audio system for Lowrider ST, it integrates seamlessly, and it's going to be loud. Customers are going to want to hear this thing with a full face helmet on, because that's how they ride. So we have something that's waterproof, it's going to withstand the elements. It's truly the perfect package for our audio and performance customers.
I still remember the excitement. First time we saw the bike, which was the mirror image of my sketch.
When we stepped back and looked at the finished product, every single person that I saw walk by that bike just stopped in their tracks and had that wow moment. Like that's special.
I think to some customers, this is going to be their version of touring. It's a new personality. It's a slightly new way to tour. If you live somewhere where you want to do some canyon carving or just some cruising, some performance riding, and a couple times a year you want to throw on some gear and head to Daytona or head to Sturgis or head to Lowrider ST is just a great choice. It's the perfect combination of performance and touring.